Hey, welcome to the Backwoods Gourmet. Today we're out here in the backwoods of Florida, and what we're after is wild muscadine grapes. We're going to pick some here today, and we're going to take them back to the studio, and we'll show you how to make a wild muscadine jelly. Hey, we might even bake up some biscuits in a Dutch oven and put some of that jelly on them. Oh my God. I've been doing this since I was a kid, so y'all stay tuned. Alright, we got some up here high, not quite ripe yet, so we have to search around a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go, guys. This is what we call low-hanging fruit. This is right down ground level. So we're going to get after them. See them? So if you're going to do this, I suggest bringing some kind of ladder to get the high ones, so you're not just totally, you can only get the low hangers. So I just bring my little step stool, and hopefully you don't sink into the sand too far and I'll fall off. But there's a ton of them up here. It's like clumps of them. And they kind of hide back in the shade, so you got to have kind of some eyeballs, kind of like hunting. So, gotta kind of dig around through the vines and find the clusters. They're in there. These are some nice juicy ones right here. So the more we explore, the more we find them. We have not gone more than 100 yards from the truck. All right, and you know, we got over here to this bush. It's just loaded. They're everywhere. And luckily there's not a lot of briars, just kind of growing on top of these hickories. Some of them are a little high for Mrs. Backwoods. There's a bunch of low ones over there, right over there. Let me see if I can zoom in on them. All right, so they're mixed all in here, but you know, like anything that's good, gonna take a little work to get them. So we're still picking, but the rain is coming, so I gotta go put the camera away. And I'm gonna dump my cup. Had about 3/4 of a cup already. I dumped them in the bin. We might get rained out here. Just found a grapevine and it was full, but we got quite a few. We got 2 solo cups full, and this Backwoods is pouring those in a Ziploc bag now, and let's hold them up and let's see how many we got. Each one of those solo cups is gonna make at least a pint of my homemade muscadine jelly. And we found a lot more vines, okay, that are all still green. So our season here for picking the wild muscadine grapes is gonna be a couple more weeks. So we'll be back, and hey, stay tuned, because next I'm going to show you how to make a great low sugar, by the way, muscadine jelly that is the best grape jelly you'll ever eat. Yeah, so here comes the storm. So we got our grapes back to the studio, and now we're going to start preparing our grape jelly. Now you're going to need a pot for this, and you know, you could use one of these. This is a beautiful old BSR 2-quart stew pot. Eye season is really good in that thing. It's an antique. These grapes are going to be very acidic. Okay, so I think today we are going to opt for a non-reactive pan, a good old stainless steel little 2-quart saucepan, and we're going to use it over on the Coleman camp stove. And the reason we're doing that is because non-reactive, so you don't want to use aluminum. Definitely don't use that non-stick crap, okay? Don't want to use aluminum, cast iron. You could get away with it, but I don't want to eat the seasoning out of my old antique. So good, you know, that's about what I use this for, and it gets used very seldomly to make jelly. And we're going to put it up over there on the Coleman camp stove because we need to be able to control the heat pretty precisely to get our pectin to react and to set our jelly. So it's going to be a little hard to do over open fire or, you know, campfire, coals, whatever. So today we're just going to go old school, do like my grandma used to do because she didn't want to heat up the house. You know, it was already hot enough. That's back before we had nobody had air conditioning back then. So you always went out under the shade tree with a good old camp stove, made it outside. We're going to do the same thing here today. So I got my pot over there, got it going on a low heat to start with. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to blanch these grapes first. It's going to make them easier to squish them, get the juice out of them. Plus it's going to, you know, kill anything that might be on them. I've washed them really good, but that's no guarantee there's not a bug inside the grape. So we're going to put just enough water in there to cover them. And we're going to bring them up to a boil. So now that I got them in there, cranking that fire to them now. So those that just came up to a boil, I'm going to only boil them. I just turned the fire way back down just to keep them simmering. And now we're going to just let them blanch 3 to 5 minutes, somewhere around there. Okay. And man, they smell awesome already. So I have chosen the really small, short little ball jars for the jelly because I want to give this away to people. So, you know, use whatever jar you want. You can use it all the way up to a quart size. Turn those grapes off after about 3.5–4 minutes. Turn them off, leave them sitting there set for a little while. And while I'm doing that, I'm over getting another stainless steel pot going on the other big burner here, and I put my jelly jars and my lids in there, and we're going to bring those up to a boil, and to make sure that they're nice and sterile. And well, they'll boil for about 5 or 6 minutes, gently. That's what they look like after they have set a little while. All right, they stop boiling. I'm going to take them off, bring them over here. And, you know, a lot of you are probably saying, what are you going to do with that water? Well, that water's already got a lot of flavor in it, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pour off the grapes. And then when the pectin recipe calls for water, that's what we're going to put back in there. But before I do that, I want to actually reduce this down a little bit. So we'll put that back on the stove. So I went inside and stole Mrs. Backwoods' smoothie maker. Don't tell her. Okay. It happens to fit my little funnel perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and just pour those. Whew, man, that bowl's hot. Try to get them in there without making a mess and getting them all over the place. Maybe easier said than done. Alright. Guy's dragging. Alright. Go ahead and put the cutter on this. Stick it in the machine. And just, we don't want to completely puree them. We're going to get them good and chopped up. I'll pull some like that and I'm going to shake them around. Alright, so that should get every grape broken. Shake them one more time. Alright, now we got our strainer back over here. Let's go ahead and settle those down. Man, that smells good. Gonna pour it right in our strainer. I'm gonna let that start draining. I want to get in there and get all that goodie out though. These things are too hard to find and too much work to pick out in the summer heat to waste any of them. Now that little bit of water we got going over there on the stove, we can also use that to help this process if we need to. And now I'm just going to kind of just keep stirring it into the screen. We want the pulp of the grape to go through, but you want to catch all the seeds and all the skins. It has a beautiful, beautiful burgundy color. All right, just needs a little time. Ready. We ended up with just a little over 2 cups from that batch. So here we're going to have to do a little math. We got these little small packs from Ball of the pectin, and I've selected the low or no sugar type since we're kind of watching our carbs around here. Now these look pretty old, but I'll crush them up a little bit. What this one looks like. Yeah, I'm gonna punt on that. These actually expired in 2014, but I got some brand new, a different kind. It just don't, to me, it just don't look real good. All right, so that's warming up. I'm gonna go ahead and put in a small pat of butter. That's gonna help it to keep from foaming. Now, we went and got our other package of pectin, and I had to do some math because their amounts they give are for a much larger amount of fruit than what we have here. So I'm going to guesstimate that we're going to need about 4 tablespoons, and that looks a lot different than the other stuff I've seen. Glad I didn't use that. So I'm going to use about 4 tablespoons of this. This is going to be about half the package. Actually, I'm going to stick with 3. That's about half the package, because all these the recipes they give on all the instructions are about double what we actually have. So we'll go ahead and stir that down into there. Now we're going to bring it back up to a boil, and the directions say, and read the directions on the pectin that you have, but most of them are pretty similar, is you want to bring it up to a boil that cannot be stirred down before you add your sugar. And the butter is supposed to help keep it from foaming up. Well, we'll see how that works. It's been a while since I've done this. We don't get those grapes every year like that. See, it's coming up to a boil, but I'm stirring it, and when I stir it, the boil goes down. So not quite ready yet. I'm doing the low sugar version. I could have done a no sugar version by putting in some real grape juice here, but I didn't want to cover the taste of the wild muscadine. Alright, so now it continues to boil even when I stir. So I'm going to slowly go and add in 3/4 of a cup of sugar. And then we're going to bring it up for a hard boil for 1 minute. And take it off the fire. It smells unbelievable. Alright, coming up on 1 minute. Here's a minute. Take it directly off that fire. Alright, so I've prepared my jars. We boiled them over there for about 6 minutes boiling water. Okay? And then we're going to leave that water hot over there because we're going to use the same water to can these. I got my little funnel. And I'm going to use this. This comes with about a 3/4 headspace built in the funnel. Here we only want about a 1/4 inch headspace in those jars. That looks perfect. I usually make a mess with this. Well, we almost made it to 7 jars. This one didn't quite get the headspace we needed, so we'll keep that one to be the first one we're going to use, and we'll go ahead and can that one, and we'll use that one as our sample and for us to eat out here. And if you want to wipe those rims, I got a clean paper towel here. Make sure you get anything that's on that edge off. But it is pretty imperative that the edge of that is nice and clean so you get a good seal. I already boiled the lids too, so try to keep them touching the underneath of them because they're sterile now. And then we'll put our rings on. Make sure you got about 2 inches of water over top of those. Let's go ahead and give that a try. I love the bottom of the biscuit, you know, the crispy part. Man, I know you want a bite of that. Let's give it a shot. Just as good as I remembered it back when I used to help my grandmother, my brothers. We'd all go picking in the summertime. She was always on the eye for these grapes, and if she see them, we'd pull off the side of the road somewhere, grab a couple buckets, whatever we had to pick in. We stopped, pick as many as we could reach. She'd take them back to the house and make this recipe. Of course, back then she used the full sugar recipe. It was even better. All right, if you can take the sugar, make it with the full sugar recipe. But tell you what, you can't do much better than that right there. So if you like what we're doing, please smash that like button right down there. To subscribe to our channel, you can do it right over there. And to see another great Backwoods Gourmet video, go be right over there. We'll see you next time.